Dude, literally.
Kentucky legalized weed passed in 2023. They still don't have their actual program launched yet, though. They did a lottery program to decide who's going to do cultivation and open dispensaries. They feel like Kentucky is playing favorites, selling out to the highest bidder.
So you have to grow in state. That's a part of the stipulation of legalization.
But the records show that nearly 90% of the medical marijuana license lottery winners are from out of state.
Yes.
So
scandal.
The whole point of putting in the bill that it would have to be grown in state is to fuel the economy of the state. However, there's all these big cannabis companies coming in there trying to take advantage of the fact that they can now sell there.
Let's say a big dispensary gets a license in Kentucky. Do they have to set up a cultivation facility in that state?
Yeah, and it can take up to 6 months minimum for these things to start growing anything that they could even sell.
they have to build the farm, get inspected, go through that whole crazy process. And a lot of those people who won the lottery don't have any infrastructure in the state right now to even grow weed. So
Right. Yeah. So all these farmers who might have been members of the Kentucky legacy market, for example, are losing out to these big name cannabis brands.
Even hemp and CBD. So there are farmers that have been growing for hemp and for CBD that have fully set up farms, but they didn't get the lottery, so they can't sell.
Aren't they issuing med cards?
Well, Veriheal is still waitlisted.
Through the grapevine, we know that at least some doctors are certifying patients in person for Kentucky medical cannabis, but obviously no dispensaries are open, so these patients have no way to get medicine because also no surrounding states are offering reciprocity until the middle of this year.
How long did you say this was been going on for?
Legalization was passed in 2023. The bill was signed, and it was supposed to launch January.
Great.
How is there no framework?
Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years.
How hard is it to work the frame? I imagine that the people who know that medical cannabis is right for them already have some sort of legacy dealer in place. What is the point of waiting around to get legal cannabis? It seems messy.
Yeah. But on the brighter side, what's not so messy is ketamine. A few different pharmacies across the states are now carrying a ketamine nasal spray to help treat major depressive disorder.
The medication was developed by Johnson & Johnson. It has FDA approval, which means the science backs it up. It treats depression, it works, and you can now go to your doctor and talk about ketamine therapy, which is crazy.
This new medicine, the new nasal spray, is essentially for people who have tried different SSRIs or prescription medication for depression in the past. However, it's not working. This medication has been known to be the only thing that works for a lot of people in that scenario. It's also really cool because with an SSRI or a prescription, you have that waiting period of, okay, I'm going to try it for 2 weeks, see how I feel, and then you might have to switch. Whereas with the nasal spray, within 24 hours, you should already feel the effects of it.
What is the research said about ketamine? How does ketamine actually help people with depression?
The research is still ongoing, of course. They've been studying this for a decade now.
Sick.
But from my understanding, depression, it can cause brain damage over time. It can affect your memory, your cognitive function, all of that. And ketamine helps by improving those things. It can help create new neural pathways, help repair synapses that have been damaged by treatment-resistant depression, because this is a very serious form of depression that this is treating. It's not your typical sadness feelings. It's something that's been going on for months or years of your life that has caused major problems.
Erasing that is insane.
Yeah, depression can actually shrink your brain over time if it's not treated. So ketamine kind of helps to reverse that, prevent it from getting worse.
Yeah, like Emily said, there is almost a decade of research to back it up. We have seen in recent years people going into facilities to get this type of treatment in different forms. So essentially we have all the research. We know what it does. And that's why it's become so accessible.
Yeah, and you said it's a prescription.
Yeah. It is a prescription, yeah. Hundreds of thousands of people across the world have found success using ketamine to treat depression. A lot of them have been people who went in and got actual ketamine infusions. So this is the first take-home form of ketamine of its kind.
If you have never done ketamine therapy, can you still use this nasal spray?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Those ketamine infusions are pretty expensive. Even if you have health insurance, they can still be inaccessible to a lot of people. So this is going to be cheaper, easier to get, better for people who maybe live in rural areas and can't drive to get ketamine infusions, don't have a ketamine clinic near them. So it's just going to make it a lot more accessible overall.
That's sick. You said it's every state. It is every state because it's FDA approved. So there you have that. Yep, love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good news for ketamine.
Good news for ketamine. Pending news for Kentucky.
Are you wondering if medical cannabis could help with your specific mental or physical health condition? If so, Veriheal can link you with a physician in your state who can answer all of your questions and help you get certified for medical cannabis. To book an appointment, visit veriheal.com. That's Veriheal.com. We'll see you there.